Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're in the studio again for another great episode with you. And you already know who I got with me, my boy.
1, 3.
Yes, sir. Mr. DJ's in the house as well. And we already know we're going to have a great episode tonight. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I got a very special guest with us today. She's actually not with us today. This is our first episode that we're doing over Zoom, but we're actually going worldwide right now. So we have Miss Antara Jones. And Antara, where are you at right now, actually? Just let people know where you are.
I am in Bali, Indonesia.
Really? How you like it out there?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Great energy.
Right. It's like you see the sun coming through the background and stuff. It's 10 o'clock out. It's 10 o'clock out here. It's cold. It's dark. You know what I'm saying? It was snowing today, rain, and pure sunshine. I am jealous. I'll tell you that one. Like 110%, I am jealous for sure.
Yeah. It's like living in like the tropics. It's like living in a movie every day. It's cool.
Really? Yes. Trips. We gotta make a trip. Bro. All right. So, Miss Antara, the reason I have you on the show today is to pretty much help some people learn something new today. And I know, knowing you for a long time, I know that you've really been strong in your faith and your spirituality. So I really want to talk a little bit about your spirituality and how you're able to really connect with that and how you even got to that level, And I feel that I know you have a great message to share for sure. So I just wanted to, have some good fun today and just roll with you, feel me? So my first question for you today is like, when did you learn to really connect with your spirit? Like, how did you learn to connect with your spirit?
I grew up in an environment, my mom was, she's a healer and a prophet. So Christianity was a huge deal, in our household. But as a young child, I would see spirit and things of that sort. So I was really just always connected to spirit because I was an outcast. It wasn't until around like 2011 when I had circumstances in my life and I, ended up, going through a depression and whatnot. And I found spirit when I lost myself around 2011, 12. I was in a really dark space in my life. So I just sat down and began to breathe one day and everything began to align for me.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's real good. So you just had to, pretty much, you had to sit down and just be quiet for a while and actually listen to what's going on inside your body, right? Or, how does that work?
Yeah,
I've been trying to connect for sure.
Yeah. Ironically, that is all that you need to do. You just need to sit in solitude, or it doesn't even have to be solitude, just more so silence. Becoming connected to spirit is more so the feeling. That's really what it is. I feel like spirit communicates through our emotions, through our feelings, because that is the way that we begin to have a deeper connection to something outside of ourselves, outside of, our roles and whatnot. To each his own. Everyone has their own way of connecting with spirit. Some meditate, some like to pray, some it really is not, it's very relative, but it's more so connecting to your natural state. That's how I feel. It's connecting with spirit,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you low-key let your emotions guide you then a little bit because, me being a male, always been told to, fight your emotion, hold that back, don't let your emotions control you. But at the same time, your emotions are, I guess, like a sign or something.
Absolutely. I feel like your emotions, they call it emotion, are spirit beings. We are energetic beings. We're just occupying the vessel. If you were to rip away your hair, your skin, your robes, everything that identifies as you, what is left? It is the spirit body, is the soul. And the emotions are only you can utilize it as a compass to really understand the heart heart space. The heart space is where you find the soul. The heart space is where you find spirit, or, your sense of a deeper self, a deeper knowing. And when you fall into that space, that is the natural state. That is infinite spirit, is falling into what we would consider as just the collective energy. It really a lot of, I know with the spirituality, and it's becoming very complex when it's absolutely the opposite of it.
Right.
So, yeah.
I was gonna say, since you kind of guide with the emotion as well, and like what the heart tells you, how do you differentiate when it's coming from source or God, and is it possible for it to be felt through other, I want to say, wicked auras, I guess, if you want to put it in biblical terms, or
how you decipher the difference?
Yeah.
How I see it is, what do you define as wicked? The things that we see as right or wrong, it's kind of a pre-notion of what we as ourselves kind of consider as this is good, this is bad. Right. When we speak of infinite energy, it lives in polarities. It lives in being able to fully connect with spirit. Let's even transfer that term to more so infinite energy. It's like, what is spirit? Spirit is breath. It's vigor. It's just more so it is breath. And so I feel like when it comes to you thinking of things as right or wrong, that's more of a morale situation there. You just allow your emotion, not even your emotions, the feeling to derive as far as what you sense is right or wrong. A lot of times we create truths for ourselves based on what we were taught. Yeah. And it's like, what are we taught? When you do that, you allow yourself to be directed by somebody else's truth. So finding your truth, finding your spirituality, finding your path is finding your way. There is no right or wrong. There is no evil or good. It's just the all being. And when you step back from the subjective of the person that you are and step into the objective of the all being spirit, there is no right, there is no wrong, there is no this, there is no that. It's only all that is. And that's where you find, I tell a lot of people, they're looking for the way, they're looking for, the right way to meditate and whatnot. But the way is you are the path, So it's like it's taking just more so accountability, I feel.
Right. So it's deep how you said it. I like how you said right or wrong, because in Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, he pretty much states that sin is kind of what you make it, because if you do something and you feel guilty about it, then all of a sudden you made that a sin now because you feel guilty or you made it wrong in your head, but it probably wasn't really that wrong.
Exactly.
And that's why I've been reading the Boundaries book I told you about, because it's like, I need to relearn what's correct and what's not correct, because, you weren't always taught everything correctly.
Right.
You have to learn something new for sure.
It was something interesting. I was listening to the Four Agreements, and he was dissecting what sin was. It's like, well, what is sin to begin with? And he kind of went over some scriptures to kind of tell the answer of that. But essentially, it's like you condemning yourself
is a sin.
Is a sin, because you can acknowledge your mistake, but you still got to keep moving forward. And when you're sinning, you're not moving forward because you're stuck on the mistake and you're beating yourself up over it.
Right.
So as long as you did your best, and you can still keep growing and move past whatever you thought was that sin.
Absolutely. And it's like what Carl Jung says is whatever it is that you condemn oppresses you. So it's like, say when people are trying to diet and whatnot, and when they're trying to, they slip up and they eat a burger. Now they're putting all this shame in their food, all this shame, like, man, I shouldn't have ate this. But honestly, if you were to put a different intention into what you were eating, you will be fulfilling your body, fulfilling your spirit. It's more so a vibration. Everything moves in vibrations and frequency. So that is that. I don't really want to, pull off course, but it really much so is that. So I feel like a lot of times we read so many books. We're trying to gain all this knowledge. Sitting in the mind is an amazing tool, but that's exactly what it is. It's a tool. The true source of ourselves lies within our cores, in our sense of being. Just be. There is no right or wrong way to be who you are. What is your natural state? Each thrive differently in different atmospheres, like say a cactus or say an oak tree, whatnot. You never see a cactus and wonder like, well, why doesn't it thrive as far as like a rose bush or something like that? You just allow things to be. And that's the same with you. It's more so there is no right or wrong you. We use our whatever we consider as hindrances to evolve and expand ourselves. But a lot of time we get caught in the mind of wanting to be conscious, evolve. We want to be enlightened, but enlightenment is never something you can attain. You can read all the books, you can go to the sages and whatnot. You, as a human experience, we're here to adapt and experience and expand ourselves. That is the nature of what life existence is, Yeah. So it's like, stop taking everything so serious. Spirituality has become so serious, and it shouldn't. Of course, yeah, make it a priority in your life, absolutely. But when you begin to set these boundaries on what spirituality is, it automatically reverts from what the origins of what spirituality is. It's supposed to be boundless and infinite and just limitless. That is what infinite energy is,
No, that's 100% real. I like how you said, worst all that cactus example was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because I just think about, look at the cactus. Like, why doesn't it walk away?
Yeah,
we just accept it how it is. So it's like, if we can accept a cactus for being a cactus or a TV for being a TV, then why can't I accept you for being you?
And me for being
or
me.
me for being me.
Yeah.
That's deep. I love that. That's amazing. That is deep. You blew my mind with that. So toward you started talking about, you can take spirituality seriously, but at the same time, you have to let it be what it is. So I guess my question is like, how do you work on your spirituality? Like, what do you have to do to train it, to make it stronger, to make it so that, I know that when I'm hearing it, I know what I'm hearing, or I know that, okay, I'm being pulled this way for a reason. Like, make myself understand it better,
Make you.
Okay, how do you?
Okay, I want to elaborate on that question.
My bad.
How do you train? More so, I think what it is, just allow yourself to not conform your power, your willpower to anything, whether it's thoughts, whether it's people, whether it's practices, whether it's beliefs, whether it's, I always admire a person that's really grounded on their truth than any type of spiritual saint, or spiritual being, or however you want to use whatever terminology. But for you to, I guess, ascend your process or whatnot, I have my dilemma with it, because I've always been so spiritual. And experiencing the spirituality trend lately, I've had my dilemma, and I had to work through my hindrances with it. I feel like, by it's becoming such a religion, it's you must do this way, you must do these mudras, you must do these mantras, you must, and I honestly feel like there is no one way of you doing such. Yes, I feel like you must automatically, just anything that pulls you from your power, anything that pulls you from empowerment, I feel like that is the biggest thing. And of course, when you start to perceive yourself as an energetic being, you will be more mindful of what you interact in. You will be more mindful that, okay, does this deplete my energy? Does this empower my energy? It becomes a checks and balances with everything, whether you go to certain atmospheres, whether you have an interaction with a person, whether you become more conscious of eating, or, just the way you think or speak. It's like everything is an energetic balance, and I think that's more so what it truly is. I know I simplify it so like that makes it very mundane, but it's really not. It's knowing that we are these powerful, infinite beings. Like, we are the source, and anything hinders us from such, you are automatically condemning yourself and you're automatically suppressing yourself, So that's more so that once you have that in the back of your mind, it's easy. The path is easy, It becomes effortless.
Right. That's amazing. I love it.
You kind of answered my question of like, so technically you can pull yourself away from yourself if you're thinking too hard about yourself, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you get tied up in
exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I did that this week, actually. I was, little troubles here and there, and then I was just stuck in my mind so much that it was to the point of, dang, this one person don't like me, so now I feel like nobody likes me. This person came me sideways, this person looking me down. It's like, because I'm so stuck in myself, I made the world look different now, being stuck in my own head. Like, that's deep.
Yeah. And, just stepping from the subjective mind and stepping into the objective view of all things. You are the observer, and you are the one that's being, you are the one experiencing this life. And I just feel that that is the true key to really living an effortless life, is more so always reminding yourself that this is a role. This is a role. Of course, you want to have the greatest experience as you're on this earth. Absolutely. But, we are here for self-fulfillment. We are here to expand ourselves beyond, that is the nature of, that's just the laws of nature. And I feel like, but once you truly step back from always feeling like you're casualties.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Did you get the gift?
Now that, once you see that what was it?
I don't know.
Like,
it's run over 40. I don't know. Did it stop? It's still recording, so we good.
Yeah.
Okay, and see, that's that subjective view. You see how that pulled me? Like, okay, and it's just like, when you step back from the human being, I'm not saying detach from it, but just step back from it. Then you're able to navigate, just navigate in your life, more, how would I say, like, I want to say empowered, but I know that's not the right term I want to use, but you begin to truly tap into your source. Right. Is when you step back from, experiencing everything as Antara or Adrian, or like, you truly are able to navigate your world in more of a, we are the demigods. I hate to say it, but we are the image of God. We are made in the image of God. And so that power really does reside in us. And that is what we truly are. So it's like, do you want to create that on this earth?
So basically, like,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Good. You speaking right now. I'm loving it.
So, like, the concept of ego death. Like, once you, always not detach from your ego, but take that step back. So, one of the first agreements is don't take things personally. Yeah. So, not to take it personally, you have to take yourself out of the situation and just look at the situation, and then you can navigate how your ego feels versus the situation and kind of decide where to move. Where to move from there.
That's deep. That's deep. I love it.
That's the only way we can evolve, though. We are here to expand and evolve, you know? When it comes to the ego, think about what is the ego? It's you. It's you. You came from all being spirit source to experience a human experience. Ego is just a human, you know? So, and we need that ego to help us understand the extremes, to help us understand when things, you know, don't really settle with us as right, or when things are, we only grow in adversity. Like, I hate to, like in opposites, in those polar opposites, you know, say if you are, if the floor is moving with you, you wouldn't even really notice that you are walking, you know, like in those polarities that, you know, you truly do you're able to expand yourself. So it's like, as far as the ego, I think it's just more so, you know, it is the human experience. And when you are able to decipher, you know, just the things that, you know, are considered as your limitations, or the things that are helping you grow, then I feel like you utilize them as a catalyst to evolve yourself. So I never like the term to detach, like death of the ego, because the ego is not just, you know, it's not just the persona, it's the human experience that you're living here. You came here to experience life, you know, because if you go back to all being source, you have no feelings, you have no emotions, you just, everything is like, it's just stale.
Yeah.
And that's
human. The human here.
Deep. Oh my God.
Yeah, the human here it allows us to feel these extremes. It allows us to have this interaction. You know, it allows us, it's in a lot of people have an issue when it comes to controversy, or, you know, just situations that come into your life as a sense of casualty, or like just issues, but they are all here as lessons. You are here to evolve by learning and adapting and expanding yourself. If you weren't able to feel, you would just be as still as this water bottle. And the crazy thing is, when you begin to really step back into oneness, the water bottle even is constantly like, think of when intentions, you send intentions into water. It's the smartest, like as far as like if you want to, I'm like pulling, but it's like, you know, as far as electrical beings, you know, even something as simple as water is constantly, it's not, you know, seen with the naked eye. It is expanding itself. It is experiencing itself. It's doing exactly what we're doing. Just we aren't able to understand it in such, you know, such ways. But you know, everything is a spirit, an energetic being. It really is. Every single thing, guys.
No, that's beautiful, Antara. You just, man, I'm sorry. I'm over here like, you got my mind going right now. Like, you're dropping some knowledge right now, for real, and you really open my mind up. So you got me just thinking, because like, for example, on my brother Triv's episode, he was talking about how he's about to create the music so you can do the vibrations and stuff, because your vibrations are healing you, you know what I'm saying? And everything's vibration. And then I was reading something else recently that was talking about, the atoms. And they talk about how, you know, we're all connected by atoms. The smallest, everything in the world is created by atoms, even though you can't see it, because, you know, to us it looks solid.
Yeah.
But no, technically it's not even touching. You know what I'm saying? Technically nothing is really touching each other, because it's all vibration. Oh my gosh.
And even to go through that, it's like, I mean,
absolutely bad.
Like Dragon Ball Z technically is possible. I could do something like that. If you were to like step back into a perspective of just being it, you would probably feel that whole energy I just threw at you. I actually my intention was to send you a message. So
no, that's real.
Here you go.
That's real. Like reminds me of so just think about it. You know, I went to Mojave to get a little school, but you know, it'll be times I walk in the lunchroom and you know everything's cool, but then one day you can walk in the lunchroom and you can be eating and then you just feel the tensity rise like in the air. It's in the air. You're like, somebody's about to fight. And within 30 seconds, somebody's fighting. And it's like you just felt it. Because like you said, we're all connected, you know, we're all connected. The only constant is change, you know, and you exist. You know, those are the 3 basic laws type deal. You know, that's amazing. I love it.
Absolutely. You know, like with me, I am a master Reiki healer. So when you speak of Dragon Ball Z, I mean, it's a little different, but it's similar. I was, honestly, I was doing energy healing before I even knew a thing. I'm moving energy. I can feel it, like, and, but my mom is a healer. She's Christian, but you know, that's the thing when it comes to spirituality. I think it goes back to just really harnessing the energy that we are created of. And because we are created of this energy, it's easy for us to be the alchemist of our worlds, be the alchemist of whatever you want to transmute. You know, it's really, that is my thing when it comes to energy. You know, I know, you know, you wanted to speak of spirituality.
No,
I'm energy. Like that's my whole life. You know, everything is about, it falls down to energy, vibration, and frequency to me. And, you know, it's just like, once you begin, after you guys, we, you know, sit here, just fall into metaphysics so you can be able to understand a bit as far as, you know, the power of energy. The power of energy, you really are able to create whatever it is that you want by emitting your power, like your internal power. It's like you're saying, like this table is only these particles that kind of bind. If you were to really look into like a microscope or whatnot, you will see that the energy, it just dances. Like I sit in meditation, I could see the energy all around me and it's just dancing. It's like what it wants to do is combine and connect and form into something greater. And that's being the alchemist of your world. And that's, as human beings, that's exactly what we are. Think of the organisms in the body. Everything mimics nature. And that's what it is. It just fall into energy, fall into vibration and frequency, all you need. It's all you need. You know, those are truly, as far as creating whatever life you want, being able to be very centered and not pulled by certain energies, being able to decipher as far as your intuition, fall into the energy. That is power.
Dang. No, that's deep. That's deep, Antara. Like, for real, that was amazing because I think I like it because, you know, you talked about the energy, and once you get into that energy, you can start just, you know, pulling and attracting what you want.
Yeah.
And we was talking about that last week with branding, you know what I'm saying? With the visualization, and you created that energy in the air and you pulled it. And it's funny because when the way Napoleon Hill talks about it is, he says that, you know, when you connect to that energy, or when you really start to apply that faith and you start connecting to that energy, that's when you start getting answers that you didn't even know were coming. You know, answers you didn't even know you need. You know, you start connecting to that field of infinite intelligence, you know, and that's when you start just, you really start to grow. You really start to grow. I love it.
Like being like conscious of like pulling that. I don't know. I just kind of noticed it because I feel like I do a good job of reprogramming myself depending on the situation. Like you can take a video game, like as I was learning Dragon Ball Z, as I'm playing and learning like how the game works on the fundamental level, I was like, okay, well, it works like this. I've seen it. I've been able to tell that this is true. Well, let me
make it mine.
Let me make my mind so whenever I see this situation again, I know what to do. And
Absolutely.
fail safes that come with it. And then it just clicks. And once it clicks, now I don't think about it. I'm just being me because I train myself to do that whenever this occurs. So if it needs to change in the future, I just switch it again.
Yeah. And, that's the power of energy. That's the power, because what we perceive is, in the mind, what we see with our eyes is merely the brain just pulling from the memory, pulling from the feelings, pulling from what we think we see. And that's what we actually see, And it's like by how he was saying about, the game, it's exactly that. When you really, and that's the objective view situation. It's like when you step back into just seeing things as all energy, and it's like, just as he said, it was the energy that basically created like thought and feeling, and then that's how he was able to project and like like if another scenario was to come, he's already equipped, because it's just like as a human, we learn to adapt, and we just have the power of the mind than, any other person. But I just, a lot of people, when it comes to our energy, we are very oblivious to it. We are very, because we never really thought to tap in, but I have a big thing when it comes to energetic hygiene, energetic clutter. Everything is energy. So when you start to see the significance of it, you are able to master your life in a whole new dynamic, And that is something I really would, it's actually what I'm very passionate about, is to, it's just to convince, I don't want to say convince, because I never want to convince or convert anyone, but I just will want people to understand the significance of energy, because when you're able to understand yourself at that level, the world or even yourself or understanding everything else just becomes, it just flows. It just truly flows,
Right.
But like I really would, I would want everyone to know more so about energy, and not even just energy healing, just knowing about energy as far as themselves.
I like it.
Or are you? What are you saying? You don't even have to speak. You're just being that. I see that. So what's up?
What's that?
No, just like when you're looking at like the world around you, and like if you want to say other energetic beings, it's like, okay, subconsciously I'm looking at you objectively. I see that your eyes are kind of like this, angry, wide, and then you walk with a certain way to where you're throwing like aggressive energy. Oh, I see that you're upset, so something obvious got to be wrong. But do you know that you're upset? Because I see it, but I don't know if you understand that you're emitting it. So that's why I'm going to speak up about it, to say, hey, are you doing okay? Because I feel your energy's off.
Absolutely. And I have my dilemma when it comes to that, because being able to read energy, I noticed that I would observe. That's what I like to do. I like to observe everyone, like kind of, but I also, I do, because I don't really like to talk. I like to observe, but in doing so, it's like, is it more so an observation, or is it more so a judgment in its way? It's like, to scrutinize things, and that's the thing. We can only see things through our perspective. We only, so a lot of times just with anyone, like us observing the energy, we know what we are feeling, so that's true for us, but that person could be feeling something completely different. But being sensitive to energy and being able to read energy, you have to constantly pull clutter from, like, pull all the veils from your auric field. That's basically how you become very sensitive to energy. But even in doing so, and I know that I can read energy, I still try to be mindful to not project what I'm feeling on people,
No,
so
that's good. And you know what? You just led me right to my next question. I was going to ask you, So how do you protect your energy? You know, like how do you, both ways, from keeping it from people outside or you leaking bad energy on the outside? Like how do you protect your energy?
Me personally, I always do. I do a lot of affirmations. I speak to my angels all the time, like all the time, and I basically always, pull it like a spear, a golden spear around me, because it was a lot of times where me just being so open, receptive to energy, I will feel attacked. I will feel, and you know how people will say, oh, you're empathic and whatnot, but I feel like when it comes to empaths, the only time somebody can steal your power is if you submit to it, or if you trying to tap into somebody's energetic field when they have not gave you permission to do so. So like with me, I'm big on crystals. Crystals hold their own vibrational form. Crystals actually have their own lifetime. They went through, being in the crust of the earth, endurance, just as we as humans, and they hold their own vibrational frequency. So I do such of that. I meditate. I do a lot of clearings, like healing baths. The biggest thing I do is I do Reiki healing on myself a lot. I do Reiki healing. I'm constantly doing such. But honestly, I now that I'm kind of speaking to you, the biggest thing is breath. That is how I always connect to my energy. That's always how I connect to my source. I just as you guys, when you began the podcast, you said deep breathe. Right. That is the best way that you can protect your energy and ground yourself to your natural state. So when it comes to spiritual, the etymology of spiritual is breath. So that is the superpower. That is the prana. That is the life force chi. You master your breath, you can master anything in your life. And I think that's a big thing. So I
was just gonna say, like, God put his breath into you to make life. So why aren't you breathing?
Deep.
Yeah.
No, that's deep.
I believe so. I believe we're just expressions.
Yeah.
I think we're expressions of, God being an open vessel for, spirit to move through us. And it's in our breath that we connect to that source, So as long as you are constantly deep breathing and truly deep breathing, like you want to inhale, you want to hold it, and then you want to exhale. You want to inhale, you want to hold even longer, and then you exhale. And each time you inhale, you want it to be longer than the last, because you're trying to build endurance. Mm-hmm. And, you want to focus on where you are sending that breath. But I promise you, you will be very centered when you master your breath.
Right. So I guess I just want to ask you then, could you give me, like, what is I can do anywhere quick meditation healing? Like, what's the example of one you can do? Like, I can do it anywhere. I can do it at work, driving. Like, what is something that you have like that, I guess? Is there a possible? I heard you can meditate anywhere. Yeah. Literally any situation. Absolutely. You should be able to do that. So I didn't know if you had like a small exercise that you do, or like you just explain real quick the breathing. Like, what if you go in more detail on that? Okay, yeah, because any practices become a religion, so it's like I don't really, want to push that on you. Wow. It's true, the belief is, it's more so about the belief. But I feel like meditation, you can meditate anywhere. You can be washing dishes, you can be walking, you can be on the throne, whatever you want it. But I feel like it's just channeling your breath. Do 5 deep breaths, every time you inhale, make it like 2 seconds longer than the last. Make sure you hold it for seconds, let it go. You want to breathe in through the nose and push out through the mouth. You want to make sure that
I don't want to be like pulling, but when you breathe, you want to pull it from your pelvic floor. I know, trying to explain that, right?
Solar plexus.
But
solar,
diaphragm.
Abs, the six pack.
No, it's actually from your loins.
Oh.
That's where you're breathing from.
Yep.
You wanna go to the sacral chakra. You wanna fall even deeper into your down. Nope, down. So where you're sitting at, where you are sitting, that's where you want to begin your breath. You know? Yeah, we could say there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's where you just want to deep breathe and pull it up and then exhale. You know, spirituality is not this hard thing. A lot of people, when they begin spirituality, they get very nervous and they want to know how to meditate. They want to know what crystal herbs to get. They want to know, what sage, how to burn the sage, what rituals. And it truly is, connecting to the breath and connecting to your sense of being. Yeah. That truly is all that it is. It's not as complex as it has became,
Yeah. No, it's so I'm sure you probably read The Alchemist. So The Alchemist, my favorite part, just by what you said, he says that the law of alchemy was able to be written on a small emerald tablet.
Really?
But they say that, but then the boy was like, so why are there thousands of books on it? He's like, because people like to make simple things as difficult as possible. We like to make stuff so difficult than it has to be, but it's literally that simple. A lot of things are just super simple. We overdo it. We try to mix all these explanations.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, it's like back to what she was saying earlier, like just connecting to what is. Like, example for doing your dishes, if you recognize that I am cleaning the dishes, this is what it is. There is silence in the house because I'm just cleaning the dishes. It is what it is, and just being within what Triv said, that moment.
Yeah.
Once you're in that moment, you just are. You aren't aging. You just are doing what you're doing and hearing and sensing and feeling all that you're feeling within that moment. Mm-hmm. Like, I do it in the car a lot, where it's just I'm driving.
I'm just in the moment of driving.
Yeah. I'm thinking, but if I have music on, then I'm just listening to the beat and everything that's in it while I'm driving and paying attention to traffic, knowing that I am driving.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, because that's when we are most connected to sources, when we're like, it's usually like we're doing some type of art, or we're just like really in tune,
Right.
And that's basically really what it is. I remember I had an experience, and Spirit told me, like, you're looking for some profound, experience, but profound things are happening around you all the time. You are a profound being. I created you in love and beauty. And it just like shut me down and was like, okay, no expectations, being present in the moment, all is so profound. Like really shut me down. Like, I was looking for some profound message or experience, and it was like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for some profound, experience when you are the profound experience? And I was like, okay, all right, let me sit. And, so that is connecting to source, is being present, feeling. And that's how you can be present, is, becoming aware of what you're feeling, and don't fall into the emotion. I don't want to really have that confusion. Don't fall into the emotion, fall into the sense of being, just be, and that is where your superpower really lies.
No, that's amazing. And have you watched the movie Soul and Terror?
I'm sorry, the movie what?
Do you watch Soul on Disney Plus?
Oh, yes. I did watch that. And that was so cool when he said that, because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly, we're looking for some profound, we're looking for our soul purpose, our soul mission, when us as life beings are here to experience life.
Right.
To experience, and, it's just like to each its own, whether, you experiencing your life fully is, farming. That brings you joy, that brings you bliss, that brings you fulfillment. Whether you want to, lead the masses, whether you just want to lay on the beach all day, all day, all night, and that's profound for you. But, and that's what I'm saying. There is the universal truth, but the universal truth is through the heart space of each individual. We all just want self-fulfillment. We all want to experience. We all want to, just experience ourselves, feel love, and expand in some sort of way. And that's truly what I feel. That's me personally. I feel that's what it is. And I don't like to try to have anyone, whether my truth is my truth. I'm never trying to convert anyone. I'm never trying to impose my beliefs on anyone, because beliefs are, they are relative. But that's a big thing for me. I never want to impose my beliefs on others. Krishnamurti always says that, okay, what I say is what I say. You take what you want to take and you create whatever truth for you. Don't just take my words and be like, okay, that's true for me. You need to decipher, why is it a truth for you? Does it resonate with your energy? Does it resonate with your soul being? And if not, then you kind of shift it to however you like. I think I know you guys speak of like The Alchemist and whatnot, but amazing books you guys can read is like Ernest Holmes, The Science of the Mind, Florence Shen, like she's amazing. Neville Goddard, like they're amazing, but help you understand more so about energy. And Carolyn Miss, she's great too.
Right.
So if you guys ever want to fall into understanding a different perspective,
I'm reading those books for sure. I will check them out. Like you just dropped some amazing knowledge. So like I personally, I don't feel like you push anything on me at all. You kind of just explained your side of what you understand. And shoot, as you saw Donovan running off back and forth, like you was hitting some dots, like things that started connected, because you were relating the energy and he was relating the Bible low key, and y'all were still smack on the same page. You feel me?
It's mostly because I can tell we had a lot of the same experiences in terms of like how we navigate the world and through energy and stuff, because like for me, all of her knowledge, I related to the Bible after I got saved, but a lot of the same conclusions were already the same. Yep. So as I'm reading through a Bible, it's like, wow, okay, it's making sense. Like I already came to this like epiphany before I came into fully like giving myself to God. Right. And it still reigns true.
Absolutely.
So it's
absolutely.
True.
Yeah, what's true is true.
Because you have to really think of it. It's like, regardless of who is the messenger, the message is a message. It's a universal truth, and that's where we get distorted in, because of course a lot of people, when it comes to religion, it's like, this is the right way, but it's not necessarily that. Did you know that Jesus was a metaphysics healer?
Oh, a metaphysics?
No.
Yeah.
Technically he is.
That's exactly what he is, Well, it's just like a lot of times we are so, we cling to the labels. We cling to the labels, and that is what hinders us. And just like you said, we resonate with one another because they are exactly the same. It just have a different label. When we stop, that's why I don't like when a lot of people call me vegan or whatnot. It's like, don't put me in these boxes, but it's just the labels truly hinders us. And, even though you are, whatever it is that your religion is, whether it's Islamic, whatnot, it all goes back to the basis of energy, life force. There is an infinite source that moves through us, that created us and allow us to channel and express ourselves with that same power. I feel like we should stop trying to identify everything so much and just allow it to be in its natural state. That is my biggest thing. That's my biggest thing when it comes to just the trendiness. Me personally, I can be honest and say I had my issues with the trendiness because I felt like it was creating a facade when it comes to spirituality. Sages, they usually for years now, but however your truth is how you receive it. However God presents itself to you, it is such. Divine source moves in all different ways. It's just that, it comes through, just say, even when it's like your angels, right? I don't know if you guys talk with your angels, but your angels come and talk to you in your lingo, what you understand. That's the same with God. That's the same with infinite spirit. It's however your heart speaks, So it's no wrong way. That's how you connect. That's how you become in tune.
What's crazy was, how it was windy a couple days ago? Mm-hmm. I went outside and I was just kind of going through some emotions or something, for a minute. And I was like, God, help me. Instant calm. The wind stopped for the rest of the night. And I'm just sitting here yeah, it is what it is. Thank you for that. Because I don't know what else to say. You helped me out.
He was there, yeah. Let you know.
And it's like, okay, you're here, then I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm good now. Don't worry about it. I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
That's deep. I love it.
It was a wild experience, bro. Crazy. You just stopped for the rest of the night. You just
and I think we need to
go ahead.
We need to remember to affirm that truth. A lot of times, when we pray, we hope. But reminding ourselves that yes, we are speaking to the infinite source or infinite spirit or God, but we also do harness that same power. So like you spoke it to existence. God, help me, it's just more so you affirmed it in a way. And that is when we are able to truly become the alchemist of our realities in that sense. It's not saying that, trying to, a lot of times people think that we need to suppress ourselves, feeling like you don't want to take the power from God, but you can't do that when you can't be disconnected from what you are. You can't be disconnected from the source that moves through you, that you are basically the creation and the creator experiencing itself in your body though, so it's like, I love that you affirmed that, you affirmed that instead of, feeling suppressed, feeling oppressed, because in that vibration, of course, what's going to follow suit? It's more turmoil, more distress, it's like you affirmed it, like, God, help me, like, all right, like I want to change. I need to change. I need you to show up how you need to show up right now for me. Right. And that is it. I love that.
That's amazing.
Faith and belief. That's
you oh my gosh, you killed it right now. So as you already
didn't know what to expect. I didn't even I feel like this is like series of talks. I was like, I didn't know what.
Like I said at the beginning, it's just a conversation between us. It ain't nothing big at all, and you dropped so much knowledge. And look, you helped somebody because you just helped us. So I feel accomplished. I don't care if you don't help nobody else, but I know you helped me for sure. So I appreciate you. But so we're going to go to our end game real quick, and you're on the Just Keep Swimming podcast, of course. So I just want to know where you still swimming toward, control your energy, understanding your energy. Like, what are you still swimming to? Like, what are you currently working on?
My biggest, what I'm swimming to is to truly become my greatest self by not hiding away my my energy, my light, truly, I'm a human being. A lot of times people think healers and speakers are saints when, it's the exact opposite. We go through our fields just as well, even though we energy heal. So my swimming, my I don't know what I choose to. I want to show up more in the world. I do want to show up. I'm very a hermit, and I know that narrative I played, as far as being the spiritual hermit, it hinders me from truly sharing my gifts as I would truly like. Right. So just showing up more for myself, showing up for the world, I suppose.
Okay. Well, look, I'm glad you showed up today for sure, because you just, you knocked out the park for sure, no question. Like, I know you helped somebody for sure. This is gonna get you out to the world, and I know you're gonna show up. You coming out the closet. Well, not the closet, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. You coming out your shell. My apologies. But yeah.
Coming out the closet. Oh my God.
I didn't even say that. All right. So I guess my last question for you is do you have a quote or anything you would like to share? Like, what is a major quote that you can probably use that's been, you've been running with for a while, or a quote you always wanted to share if you had the chance to?
Well, I have a few. Okay, so does it have to be my words?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Whatever
you're feeling, whatever quote, even wasn't a quote, even if it's like a, something that somebody said to you and you was like, man, that really resonated with me differently,
What is source telling you?
Right, what do you want to share? What's something the world needs to hear?
I feel that there is no right or wrong way. You are the way. Like, you are the way. It's a quote that says, what's bliss for the spider is chaos for the fly. Allow things to be.
Oh man, go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. But it's like, live in you, be you, live you. Live your truth. However that may entail, just live you. You are here to celebrate your life and celebrate yourself. So yeah, remember, you're the way. There's no other way. You don't need a stage. You don't need anyone to show you and tell you the way. Right. Because it's embedded in you.
Trust yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. Man. And Tara, I gotta say thank you one more time, because you really just brought something great to the show, man. I really love the energy you brought. Like, thank you. I feel that even though you're all the way across the world, even though we do our deep breathing, we still connect at a great time. Yes, we felt it. Yeah. We felt your energy. You're gonna have us thinking tonight. My other brother's in the background. I know he back there scratching his head right now. So yeah, you killed it, Antara. I really appreciate you. And yeah, we might have to get you for a part 2, because I know you got a lot more to share, so we might have to get you on for some more.
Yeah, I would like that. That actually would be great, like, to actually have things to share. But yes, stay connected to your breath, you guys. Like, I'm definitely going to go snorkeling. So I'm really excited.
Go to bed.
Okay, well, it's such a pleasure. I do appreciate you guys. Like,
oh yeah,
thank you.
Yes, and we truly appreciate
it. Terima kasih, guys.
Yes. So I don't know what you said. I appreciate you. What you say?
I just said thank you. It's Bahasa Indonesian.
Say it one more time.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Kasih. Terima kasih.
Opa. Okay. I appreciate you for today. You dropped a lot. Have fun snorkeling. Enjoy the day. Enjoy your afternoon. Yeah. And yeah, I'll talk to you for sure soon, bro. Alrighty. I appreciate you for being here for another great episode. I know you're about to go home and probably rethink some things right now, but amazing. And everybody out there listening today, I just want to say I appreciate you guys. I know you guys learned something today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to us. That's jkspodcast702@gmail.com. If you want to hear from us, please let us know. We want to hear from you. Anything that you got, any questions you got for Antara, send them to us. We'll send them to her. And I'm sure she'll help you out for sure. And I just want to say, have an amazing day, have a wonderful night, and have a great evening. And remember, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Don't forget to breathe.
That's my Wait, don't hang up.